Wyatt Rogers.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Good. What the hell are we in Fort Worth for right now?
PBR World Finals 2024 at the Cowtown Coliseum.
What's your rank?
Sitting 30th coming in. I don't know if I got moved last night or not. Haven't looked at the standings. At this point in the year, it doesn't matter. I made it to the finals, so I just got to stay on my Bulls.
Congratulations. How's your head?
Head's fine. Passed concussion protocol today. Night one didn't go quite as planned. Hit the ground pretty hard. Back's a little sore, but nothing that can stop me.
Yes, sir. How long you been riding bulls?
Professionally, been 9 years now, but I started riding sheep when I was 2 years old. I think I got on my first calf at 4, and then probably my first junior bull at 11.
Gotcha. 27 years old?
27 years old.
6'1".
I am on the bigger side of a bull rider. Everyone in my family, and believe it or not, I'm the smallest guy in my family on either side. My dad, he was 6'3", like 240. He was a professional steer wrestler. My uncle on my mom's side was 6'7", 280. He played lineman at OU in college, was on the 85 national championship team. Just born in a big family, and I chose to ride bulls.
Right. Well, so you're the family runt, but you're 6'1".
Yeah.
What you're saying?
Yeah.
I got you.
And I had a growth spurt late. I didn't even about my freshman year of college is when I really started growing and getting tall. I wish I'd have done it when I was playing basketball in high school.
I'm sure that'd become a help. So I was looking around the other night. We was at the little dinner, the PBR dinner, and y'all are all standing up, all the riders, and you definitely stick out like a sore thumb.
Oh, yeah. I tower over, especially if you put me next to Vitor Lesnacki or something like that. It's 4'11", probably.
What is the average, you think, for a bull rider? By his height?
5'6" to 5'8", somewhere in there, about 145 to 155 pounds.
So I would be good on the hot part, but the weight ain't going to happen.
Yeah, you're going to have to diet and get on a strict routine.
Like diets. I don't do that kind of shit. But I don't want to be a bull rider either, so that's a good thing. So let's talk about this amazing mustache of yours.
It's something new. I've always had facial hair, but I got back to pro rodeoing this year, and they have a mustache May, so thought I'd go along with it for the World Finals and just do something different.
You think it's helping with your bull riding?
Based on last night, no.
Well, what about the ladies?
I got a girlfriend. Had her for a little over a year now. She's a great girl from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Heck yeah, congratulations.
She supports me as good as...
So you like the mustache?
She loves the mustache.
You love the mustache. Yeah. It's got a little red tint in it, too.
Oh, yeah. I got a little ginger in me down the line.
A little bit. So let's talk about your nationality. So you are Native American.
Yeah, right? Cherokee Indian.
Cherokee Indian. All right. So that helps with the height.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly, yeah. So you're from Hobart?
Hobart, Oklahoma is my address now. I'm actually from a small town called Leach, Oklahoma. They had a grade school that went to 8th grade, and they had a pig cell, and that was about it. We didn't have a post office or anything like that, so that has never been listed as my true hometown. Had a population of like 130 people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
They're all related?
Crazy small, yeah. I think it was all related. We all went to school. When I graduated my 8th grade class there, I had 10 people in my class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is small. So, the fascinating thing about Oklahoma to me, they have some names of towns that I can't pronounce half the time.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any of them that stick out to you that are pretty wild that it'd be a hard time pronouncing at all?
When I went to college, there's a town about 30 minutes away called Wapanuka. Wapanuka. Or you drive up 69, you'll see Okima, Wetumpka, Tushka. Even my town that I live by, Tahlequah, is hard to pronounce sometimes. Definitely probably couldn't spell it. There's all kinds of great Indian town names around Oklahoma.
Yeah. And I like that too about Oklahoma. It's like they have, they went in there and invested with the names and stuff. But what's coming there? So KC, the Outlaws.
I was with the Outlaws this last year. Currently am not signed to a team. I'd say after the draft on May 29th, the Outlaws are going to pick me back up to the reserve roster if another team don't put me on the protected roster before that. But love the atmosphere around the Outlaws. It's a family there. Couldn't ask for a better support system. They're there whenever I need them. I can go there week in, week out. I know if I got on a different team and I still wanted to go there, they'd welcome me back open arms. It's just a family, and I can't thank them enough for what they've done for me the last year. I was weighing like 210 pounds last year at the World Finals, not in my best bull riding shape. I was good enough to be average, and that's not really where I want to be. I'm just going to keep striving to keep achieving higher than what I am. We're headed in the right direction.
Right. So people that are not familiar with the team series, how exactly does that work for a rider's dynamics? So is that something you picked to be on, or is that something that, how's that work?
Yeah, you're picked to be on. The team has 12 spots available for riders. They have what they would call 5 starters and then 2 alternates, then 5 reserve riders, which is practice squad. But a team could rotate guys in and out throughout the year. It doesn't matter if you're reserve squad or not. Last year I started out on reserve squad, and I went to Cheyenne and Kansas City and got on it. I think I got on all 5 bulls to start the season. I bucked off all 5, so they rotated someone in that performed better than me at that point in time.
Do you think that's helping with grow the PBR?
I think it's developing new fans. And it's easier for new fans to understand, and it's kind of harder for some old fans to understand. If you just watch traditional bull riding, it's just I'm on my own, and if I fall off, then I lose. It's hard to understand if I fall off and my team can still win. But growing up and playing sports in public school and stuff, I think helped me out a lot. I mean, I played football, baseball, and then basketball throughout high school, so always been a team guy, and I understand that there's different roles on each team. You can't all be a superstar on a team, and it can cause you to fail if you all try to be the superstar.
Sure. So, outside of high school, where'd you go to college?
Southeastern Oklahoma State in Durant, Oklahoma. Took me a little bit of school there. Got 2 degrees out of it, though. Got my bachelor's in sports management. Took me 5 years to get that, and then 2 years to get my master's in sports administration.
Gotcha. Awesome. So what else have you done outside of bull riding in the rodeo world?
In the rodeo world, made it to the Indian National Finals in the steer wrestling and bull riding numerous times. Steer wrestling is probably like a close second to the rodeo events in my heart. It's what my dad grew up doing. It's what I grew up watching. I might pursue it one day, but right now, if I got hurt running a steer or something, my knees and tore all the ligaments in my left knee before and broke my right leg, so there's no point in risking getting hurt for steer wrestling when I can make so much money doing riding bulls, and I only got a short time in my career that I can ride bulls.
Sure. What is the age limit, you think? Or what's the average, I guess?
Anywhere from 30 to 35. It just depends on your mindset, family, kids, whatever your drive is. You got to have the drive to go. If you go at this half-hearted, then you're probably going to end up hurt and getting carried out on a stretcher or something worse. So as long as a guy's heart's still in it and he wants to, they can go as old as they want to be. You watch Ejne Caminos or João Ricardo Vieira, they're in better shape than I'd say 80% of the guys in the locker room. They work out every morning. I'm bad about slacking some mornings and stuff.
So what do you do when you're prepping to get on a bull? Are you going through some serious stretches, all that kind of stuff?
I make sure to warm up really good the day of the bull riding. Tore my groin twice, and then right now I got a hip injury, so I just got to get it loose and make sure that I'm able to perform at the best of my ability, make sure it's good and warm, and just keep moving and don't really get stiff.
So what's that? Describe what that is, like warming up.
I go back to my basketball days, doing high knees, butt kicks, lunges, the karaoke shuffle, like you look like an idiot in the back and people are laughing at you, and then go do some jumping jacks, stuff like that, squats, just keep moving. What
do you feel like when you get on that bull and you're tied down, what do you feel like the most important muscles are to be loose?
Your groins. I think that's the most utilized muscle in the body for riding bulls, because there's no way around it. You have to use it every single time to ride a bull. That's where your key is. Doesn't matter how good your grip strength is or your feet hold is, if your groins aren't there, and you're not going to be able to ride.
Right. So your hand, more or less, correct me if I'm wrong, would that more or less hold you centered more than anything, and then you're using everything else to stay on?
Yeah, your hand gives you a little bit of last resort, and it can pull you back to the middle a little bit. But mainly it's off balance. I mean, I took gymnastics when I was a kid, and I've always, when I had horses growing up and riding them to practice on, unless I was actually practicing in the arena, if I'm just riding in the pasture, I was always bareback. Just always working on my balance, riding with my eyes closed, doing something, up and down hills, pond banks, jumping logs, whatever it was, bareback on a horse, I would do, and that just kept you constantly in the
Feeling the horse, feeling what,
feeling an animal underneath you.
Yeah, that's a lot of people don't understand that, and even I rope, and a lot of people think you're just in a saddle, you're hanging like you're just there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to that. If you
we're not.
want to be able to compete and actually do something other than just riding the saddle.
Yeah, there's a lot to it, and you got to be in rhythm with the horse or the bull. I mean, you got to understand their movements and how to react to it.
How many bulls do you think you cover a year?
I probably get on 200. I mean, the goal would be to ride 100. I mean, at least 50%. Realistically, right now, I'm probably at like 35 to 40%.
Right.
At the UTB level, I think my percentage was right at 27 or 28 this year. It's got to go up if I want to be in the world title contention.
Right. And what do you think? What do you think the average is for people or bull riders in the PBR? How many to cover?
How many bulls do you think they get on a year?
Yeah.
Counting teams and individual? Individual season, I haven't really looked at the numbers since we went to half seasons. I'd say it's somewhere around 50 bulls a year would be my guess. I know whenever we went from November to October, it is usually around 60, high 60s then. I'd say it's somewhere close to 50 is on the average, depending on short rounds made and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Well, that's a lot of bulls. So you've ridden one of our bulls, Cold Creek.
I've got on him. I don't think I've ridden him yet, but he bucked me off at like 6.3 in Houston this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's definitely he's a grown-up size bull. He's something that actually fits my size, and I can get a hold of him. It was a good matchup. I about picked him again tonight. He was just there's one bull I liked a little better than him tonight to fit my style. But Cold Creek's, he's a good bull. He bucks hard every time. He kicks hard. He doesn't have a set pattern, so that makes him really extra hard to ride. And that's kind of what my deciding factor tonight is. The bull that I picked has more of a set pattern than Cold Creek.
Who are you riding tonight?
Hard Candy from Braun Bucking Bulls, and Cooper and Scruggs hauls him.
Gotcha. Good deal. So what is your all-time favorite bull?
59 Boomer.
59 Boomer. And why?
I was an 18-year-old kid. Turned 18 October 11th. Tuff Hedeman called me, I don't know, about a week before that. Invited me to Mercedes, Texas to a CBR. I didn't have any intentions on going professional that soon. Or I don't know, it was just unrealistic. I was in ag class when he called me, and I left running out of the building when I saw Tuff Hedeman's name pop up on my phone. And got the call, flew to Mercedes, spent every last dime I had, I think, flying there, me and my mom. I mean, I wasn't going somewhere. That was my first time flying. I was scared of planes.
I'm sure.
I didn't want to get on it and go by myself, so Mom forked up all the money we had, bought 2 tickets, and went down there, went 3 for 3, won it on Boomer. I was 92 points in the final round, and won $43,000 at my first one a week after I turned 18. So going back to class on Monday morning was
hard to do.
It was hard to do. I wanted to quit.
Give you the itch too, didn't it?
I think I missed 43 days of school my senior year between sports and rodeo.
Yeah, that'll do it too. So what about who do you look up to as far as a bull rider? Any bull riders?
Bull rider Ryan Dirtier. I mean, right there by my house, the Cherokee kid originally. He grew up going to our junior rodeos. Me and my dad and my mom, we put on the Rogers and Sons junior rodeos. He grew up riding calves, steers, so just watching him grow up and then achieve, knowing that someone in my part of the country could make it to this level, and it wasn't an unrealistic dream or to make a career and job out of this is just something unbelievable. And I still go to him for advice, or if I want a workout buddy or learn new stuff, I go to him. His wife, she's a nutritionist, so that's been helping on the diet side of it.
Sure. Gotcha. So, every time I went to a PBR event or watched a PBR event, everything to me is from the riders to the stock to how they presentation, everything's top notch. What is one of the most embarrassing things that has happened to you in your rodeo career that you may have been caught behind on?
I don't know.
You're just perfect all the time.
I mean, getting the wobble knees when you stand up last night, it feels embarrassing when you're out there because you know you're looking like an idiot and that you're not walking normal.
Right.
But it's just part of it. I don't like if anyone that actually knows the sport knows it's not embarrassing. I don't know. We just play prank like the guys I'm close to in the locker room and stuff. We play pranks on each other. Me and Colton Hevlow got in a prank war last year. I'd put some rosin in his helmet or put tape on his back, just goofy stuff like that. And if you get caught with it, it's embarrassing. Jonathan Austin put a Richard Ratley sticker on my helmet for an entire event one weekend, and I didn't notice it because I never look at this part of my helmet.
Right.
So I'm sitting there nodding every bull in Bangor, Maine with a Richard Ratley bullfighting sticker on my helmet. And finally, I saw it when I got it out of my bag the next weekend. I said, "What is this?" He said, "I was wondering when you'd notice that."
That's awesome. What's your plans after riding bulls?
So I got my master's degree. The dream has always been to help the next generation or go back and coach, put on bull riding schools maybe, but to be a college rodeo coach because I did every event in college at some point. I've been on bareback horses, been on saddle bronc. Wasn't any good at either one of them two. Didn't have the heart for them. They're saddle bronc's probably the hardest sport in rodeo to learn and be good at. Bareback, you got to be the toughest one to do that. I don't want no part of that. And then, but I've calf roped, team roped, steer wrestled my whole life. So to be able to go back in college and actually help the next generation would be great. And then you never know where the PBR teams are going to be. Mm-hmm. So maybe being a coach one day.
It's great to sit here and get to talk to you.
Yeah,
and, man, I love hearing your stories and all the stuff about you. I wish you all the best and safety, more importantly. I hate that what happened last night. You got a little roughed up, but maybe tonight you go out there and kill it.
Hey, it's in God's hands. It's all in His timing. That's one thing I've learned, especially with dealing with injuries this year. Don't matter how high you are in the mountain, you can only see so far, but God can see for eternity.
Sure. That's a true statement. But you're in the stockyards, too. So, man, how can you go wrong?
How can you go wrong in the Fort Worth stockyards for the 2024 PBR World Finals?
I agree. Well, good luck, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Each and every Tuesday, catch a new episode of Grit Branded as we dive into stories from all walks of life in the hopes of you discovering what your grit is.